Certainly the market when we set up in 1990 wasn't a particularly good market at all. We were in a recession then, as we've obviously been now. Although coming out of that recession this time round, it's a very different market to what we had in 1990. We're responding to those changes in the market. I mean, we're building on the 25 years of experience that we've got. We feel we're uniquely placed in that market because of our size. We're looking to expand very much on our international work as well, and in our interface with international markets. But I think overall what we're seeing now is that the market lines are blurring very much. There isn't a big differentiation now between in-town retailing and out-of-town retailing. The two have merged quite a lot. On the investment side and the leasing side, those are also merging. You can't do the investment business without having the leasing side. You can't do the leasing side without having one eye on what's going on in terms of the investment market. And you're getting this blurring of lines between international retailers and national retailers. People are expanding abroad now. We've got new retailers coming into the UK all the time, and it's a big area of growth for us, has been the last few years, and it's somewhere where we want to expand on that again. I think the fact that it's difficult to generalise in terms of what's going on in the market at the moment, I think you need that really specialist, knowledgeable advice. Because what may be appropriate advice to give in one location could be completely inappropriate somewhere else. So I think we feel you have to be right on top of the market that you're working in. You have to know your landlords, you have to know your occupiers, you have to understand what those occupiers are doing. And I think we find that the quality advice we can give, because there's no one answer.
I think the main challenges for the retail sector at the moment are delivering an experience to the shopper where they now have the alternative of going online. As a company, we're involved in some really sort of cool projects, diverse projects like Borough Market, where the depth of retail interest is enormous. Some really unique and interesting brands and businesses. And Deptford, which is a London suburb, which is very much up and coming at the moment. And we've been absolutely blown away by the amount of retail inquiries and the type of retailers that are showing an interest at that grassroots level. Everything sort of went through the grinder of the recession and everybody pulled their horns in cost-wise, retailers included. Everything became very London-centric. And actually now that bit of prosperity is coming through, BCSC have said, no, you know what, we're going to go back up to Manchester. It's going to cost people more, but it will work. Well, there was resistance to that a couple of years ago.
The government have announced an intention to review Sunday trading legislation. The retail industry has generally been receptive to that. I think as the debate evolves, it will revolve around whether or not as a society we actually want to operate in a true 24/7 environment.
I expect over the next 6 to 12 months to see yields coming in further, particularly on the high street and prime shopping centre end of the market. I think they will harden some of the money that is coming into the country, is still looking for a safe haven within the UK. So I think that will continue. I think on the secondary section of the market, we will see yields to drift out in the weaker tertiary towns and cities. But for the really good secondary stock, those yields will continue to come in further as well. I think we'll also start to see a lot of the stock that was bought by the banks and some of the private equity holders to be further released over the next 6 to 12 months. I think investors are increasingly aware that they can't now rely on further yield shift, that actually you have to buy into the fundamentals of rental growth and performance. I was recently involved with the sale of the Hannington's estate in Brighton. I headed up the team here on that sale. We sold that for RBS. Again, it's a very interesting microcosm of looking at the market, because you were buying something in a very, very good town with strong demographics, strong demand, but there was a lot of void, a lot of vacancy, and there was a lot of risk to take by investors. There was a huge amount of interest So there's lots of good signs in the market.